Welcome to Gyanmarg. This is a continuation lecture of climatology. So up to here we have covered uh, atmosphere and the six layers of atmosphere. Yeah, and then we covered the temperature inversion and factor affecting distribution of temperature. Now in a continuation, the next topic is all about pressure belts. So what do you mean by pressure belts? Belts mean the particular area on the Earth's surface, and that area has the same pressure, and because of pressure belts means same area, and pressure belt means the area which has same pressure distributed uh, throughout that area is called as pressure belt. It can be high pressure belt, it can be low pressure belt, it can be thermally induced pressure belt, or it can be dynamically induced pressure belt. So in this image we can see the equatorial low pressure belt, then subtropical high pressure belt. So the equatorial low pressure belt uh, is also known as doldrum, and subtropical high pressure belt is also known as hot latitude. So then there is a polar high pressure belt. Sorry, there is a temperate low pressure belt. There is a correction here. This is not polar high, but that is temperature low pressure belt, which is given here. That is correct. One. So the next and last is polar high pressure belt. So we have that question also. Ki equatorial low pressure belt is a dynamic or a pressure induced. It means that is thermally induced or dynamic. So what do you mean by thermally induced pressure belt? Thermally induced pressure belt means due to that insolation of sun, due to sun's insolation, there is a increase in pressure at the equatorial and tropical level. So due to that increase the temperature, that is evaporation at around the equatorial uh, area means up to 10 degree north and 10 degree south. There is equatorial low pressure belt. Due to solar insolation there is high temperature. Due to that high temperature it will lead to evaporation, and due to that evaporation will create low pressure zone there. So that low pressure zone is known as doldrum and equatorial low pressure belt. And this uh, the air of this area will ascend from there due to evaporation, and will uh, spread over the earth, and due to that effect of Coriolis force, and due to the friction force, it will bend, and at subtropical level it will descend and form the subtropical high level. So this subtropical high pressure belt is created due to dynamic dynamic due to that dynamics or the movement of earth. So that is known as dynamically induced pressure belt. So the subtropical high and that temperate low are the dynamically induced pressure belt, and the equatorial low and polar high, those two pressure belts are thermally induced pressure belts. So now the next concept is all about intertropical convergence zone. What do you mean by intertropical convergence zone? So let's segregate the terms. So intertropical means the area between tropics. North side it is the Tropic of Cancer, and at the south side it is Tropic of Capricorn. So between these two tropics, it is known as that area is known as uh, intertropical zone and intertropical convergence zone. Conversion means there is conversion of air. Convergence of air is known as intertropical convergence zone. It can be in northern hemisphere or it can be at southern hemisphere. So what will effect of that ITCZ zone? It will cause heavy rainfall also, and ITCZ can shifted north side or south side according to the situation and the position of the sun. If there is summer in uh, in January or May, the situation is there is summer at northern hemisphere, so it will lead to uh, shift the ITCZ toward the north side because the sun's position is little bit north side during that summer season. If there is winter in northern hemisphere, it means sun's position is little bit south side of equator. So that's why there is shifting of ITCZ zone towards the southern hemisphere. So the position of ITCZ uh, is subject to shift according to situation of and according to position of sun. So it is all about the ITCZ. Now the major topic is atmospheric circulation. Atmospheric circulation means the circulation of atmosphere, mainly that wind circulation. It is classified into three types. The first is primary circulation. So the primary circulation is also called as permanent circulation or global circulation or prevailing winds or planetary winds. So there are three types of primary winds which we can see in this image also. That three types of primary winds are: the first one is trade wind, second is westerlies, and third is easterlies. So the trade winds are also called as easterlies at uh, tropical level and equatorial level. So it is named after the movement of that wind. Means if the is uh, wind has movement from east side to west side, it will be called as easterly. But if the wind is travel from west to east, it will be called as westerly. So there are three types of primary wind, that is trade wind, second is westerly, and third is easterly. The second is secondary circulation, which is also called seasonal circulation or periodic circulation, because it is variable according to season. Like monsoon circulation is subject to change according to season. And the third one is tertiary circulation, is formed due to local pressure gradient, like local winds, जैसे कि लू इन इंडिया, फिर सिरोको और चिनूक और हरमट्टन. These are the example of tertiary circulation. So first the planetary winds. In this image, we can see northern trade winds, southern trade winds, westerlies, and easterlies. So, what is the significance of planetary winds? If any questions will be asked on planetary winds, like what is the significance of planetary winds? So, the first significance is planetary wind is balancing the heat budget of the Earth. Means it uh, convert or it will transporting the excessive heat of tropics toward poles and also transporting the excessive cold temperature from pole towards tropics. The second significance is the cyclone formation. The trade wind is help is helping for the formation of cyclone. Third is regional climate. Example is monsoon is in India is also caused due to eastward shift of southeastern trades. So these are the climatic significance of planetary winds. The first is heat budget, second is cyclone formation, third is monsoon. So what is the oceanic significance? So the movement of the oceanic current is also dependent on the planetary wind and formation of gyre. The gyre is the rotatory movement of that oceanic current. It also depends on planetary wind. Geomorphic significance is the formation of deserts. We had seen that the currents, oceanic currents, also responsible for the formation of desert, like that is Namibia desert. It formed due to the colder ocean current. Because of that older coastal current, it will create it will create the arid and low humidity zone, and it will create desert. And the example is Namibia desert. Similarly, this ocean current is influenced by this winds, primary and planetary winds. So it will also affect the formation of desert. The next thing is ecological significance. The fisheries also impact from the oceanic currents and the planetary winds. So the major question had asked in PYQ, we had also seen that in last lecture कि ये क्वेश्चन पूछा गया था फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन 2013 में that the major desert hot desert in northern hemisphere are located between 20 to 30 degree north and on western side of continent. Explain the reason behind it. So the reason is we can see here like the deserts are on the north 20 to 30 degree latitude, and also they are majorly on the western side of continent. So there are two reasons behind that. That is atmospheric reason and that is geographical factor. So what is the atmospheric condition? Means that there is subtropical high pressure belt present. Due to that high pressure belt, it will create uh, the desert forming condition as aridity and low humidity. So that is responsible for formation of desert, subtropical high pressure belt. The example is Sahara Desert and Arabian Desert. The second is trade winds. Means the easterlies trade winds carry the moisture from ocean, but while they uh, carry that moisture from the ocean, it travels through the uh, eastern part of continent, and it will bring the rain to eastern coast. They bring the rain to eastern coast, but they become drier at inland and contribute the aridity of western region. So that is one of the reason behind the northern hemisphere and western side of deserts. The second is geographical factor, rain shadow effect. The example is Mojave Desert. Because of presence of that mountain range, uh, the rain-bearing winds came from eastern side, and due to that presence of mountain, it will create the orographic rain at eastern side. But the western side of that mountain will be subject to the rain shadow effect of that mountain, and it will form the Mojave Desert. And the second thing is cold ocean current. We had also seen that in that uh, नामीबिया डेजर्ट की कोल्ड करंट आने की वजह से वहाँ पे मॉइस्चर कम हो जाता है और एसिडिटी ज़्यादा हो जाती है. So these are the reason behind that desert present at that condition. And that third, we have seen that primary and planetary wind. Second is seasonal wind. Seasonal winds. The example of seasonal winds are monsoon winds, and also the second type is land and sea breezes. We can see in this image the breeze or the wind flow from the sea towards the land is called sea breeze, and the wind which flows from land to sea is known as land breeze. And also there is another type is called mountain breeze and valley breeze. Here we can see the mountain breeze is also called as katabatic winds, which flow from mountain means the top of mountain towards the valley, and valley breeze known as anabatic winds, which flow from valley towards the mountain's top. And let's understand the third type of winds, which is called as local winds. So the local winds is caused by local conditions. There are two type of local winds. The first is hot local winds. The example of hot local winds are Loo, which present at India and Pakistan region. There is another hot local wind is known as Chinook, and third is Sirocco at Sahara Desert, and Harmattan. And the cold local wind are Mistral, Blizzard, and Bora. Mistral, Blizzard, and Bora. And some example of recent local winds are Santana winds at USA and Fawn winds at Switzerland. So we have covered the winds primary, secondary, and tertiary. Primary are planetary, secondary are seasonal, and tertiary are local winds. That is, that can be hot or that can be colder. Next, last topic is polar vortex. So what do you mean by polar vortex? Polar means North Pole or South Pole. And what do you mean by vortex? Vortex means there is formation of low pressure and cold air area over Earth's North Pole and South Pole is known as polar vortex. So the cold air trapped at area of poles due to the formation of jet streams at polar areas. It becomes the wavier, allowing that cold air to dip southern in places while warmer air pushes the northward. So the formation is due to the winter months and strong jet streams polar region and upward to stratosphere. Earth rotation is also strengthened that process, and temperature contrast also strengthen it between the polar region and lower latitude. The next concept is heat waves and cold waves. Heat waves means the waves when the temperature of waves goes beyond the maximum temperature for 2 consecutive days is known as heat waves, which has been frequently in news in this summer also, the heat waves. According to situation, IMD criteria also classify the heat waves, but it's not very important to uh, read all this stuff because it's not gonna directly ask in means what about heat waves and that are what are its classification. Similarly, the cold waves are the minimum temperature for 2 or more consecutive days. Our next topic will be the precipitation and monsoon of India. We'll cover in detailed manner in next lecture. Thank you.